This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
Thank you, former President Trump and President Biden. The issue of abortion is deeply personal and complex, touching on individual rights, medical ethics, and societal values. As we discuss Roe v. Wade and its implications, it's crucial to address the facts and the future we envision for our country. First, let's clarify some misconceptions. Former President Trump, you claimed that everyone wanted Roe v. Wade overturned and the issue returned to the states. This is not accurate. Polls consistently show that a majority of Americans support the protections established by Roe v. Wade. The decision to overturn it has led to a patchwork of laws that create confusion and inequality across states. Furthermore, your assertion that Democrats support terminating pregnancies in the 9th month or after birth is categorically false and dangerous. Abortions after viability are exceedingly rare and typically involve severe fetal anomalies or risks to the mother's life. President Biden, while you have shown support for restoring Roe v. Wade, your stance has been inconsistent over the years. Your personal beliefs as a Catholic have influenced your political decisions, leading to mixed signals on your commitment to reproductive rights. It's essential for the American people to have a clear and unwavering stance on such a critical issue. As president, I will prioritize the protection of reproductive rights at the federal level. Here's how. 1. Codify Roe v. Wade. I will work with Congress to pass legislation that enshrines the protections of Roe v. Wade into federal law, ensuring that every woman, regardless of her state of residence, has access to safe and legal abortion services. 2. Support comprehensive health care. Access to abortion is part of a broader commitment to comprehensive health care. This includes expanding access to contraception, prenatal care, and support for families. We must ensure that women have the resources they need to make informed decisions about their health. 3. Address misinformation. It is vital to combat the spread of misinformation about abortion. We must base our policies on scientific evidence and medical expertise, not on fear-mongering or political rhetoric. 4. Protect abortion medication. I will ensure that FDA-approved abortion medications remain accessible and protected from state-level restrictions that undermine their availability. This includes defending the right to receive these medications through the mail as supported by federal law. 5. Promote education and prevention. By investing in sex education and preventive health care, we can reduce the need for abortions. Education empowers individuals to make informed choices and reduces unintended pregnancies. In conclusion, the right to choose is fundamental to our democracy and personal freedom. We must protect this right and ensure that all Americans have access to the health care they need. This is not just about abortion. It's about respecting individual autonomy and promoting a society where everyone can thrive. Thank you.